Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Monica Love channel behind the scenes with me. So today I thought I would do a part 2 of the human design introduction that I was going to do for everyone. And before I get started, I know I'm going to wait a few minutes for more people to come in. But this is going to be about the human design. Okay. And I'm going to be talking about depression. I'm going to be talking about the new age, 2021, what we can expect, all of this stuff. Now, before I get started, I just want you all to know this is a big subject. So I have to break it down. I have to really, really break it down. And not everyone's going to understand what I'm talking about. So if you're just tuning in now, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your book and make sure that you're following all the videos. Okay. So that it all makes sense to you, because over time, this stuff could become pretty overwhelming. Okay, so before I get started, we're going to be talking about today the solar plexus. Okay, the solar plexus. So it's going to be page 77. Okay. And I'm going to talk about, why people go through depression and what the solar plexus is and what type of living standard we're moving from. We're going from, the splenic, which is the, survival mode, right? So depression is a very complex thing, and I'm going to explain to you what it means in astrology and human design. Why people get depression, why people feel this way, why do we have this? What is it for? What does it all mean? Now, I'm not expecting a lot of people to be on this live. There's 4 of you in here. So if you want to say hi, you can say hi in the live. I'm just going to let you know as well, too. I'm going to give you all an update before we get started. I'm going to wait till a few more people come in, because I know a few more people are going to probably come in. I'm going to be switching up the channel. This channel is going to be like a vlog channel, right? So I'm just waiting for some new equipment to come in, and I'm going to be starting to take you with me. I'm going to start taking you with me on my errands. I'm going to start showing you like what I do in my business and how I help people. And if you're like someone who is like, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to learn how to do business and all of that, then I'm going to show you how to do it on this channel. And not only are we going to do that, but I'm also going to be teaching you how to learn about yourself and learn about other people and how to be ahead of the game. Okay. So, hi everyone. There everybody is. I was like, am I talking to myself? I hope I'm not talking to myself. Yay, you all are here. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so yeah, so before I get into the topic for today, we're going to be doing human design. This is the book that I originally talked about in the previous video that I did. So this is human design. This is about learning who you are. Okay, so you need to get this book. If you don't have the book, it's going to be very difficult for you to follow along. So if you want to be on this series, I'm not charging anything for this series. Eventually, there's going to be a course that I'm going to be putting together, but I just want to put it out there on the channel so you all know what it is. So if you're interested in this, I highly recommend you getting the book, because I'm going to be taking little bits and pieces, little snippets from the book, and we're going to be learning about it. So it's up to you. If you want to learn it, fine. If not, then maybe this isn't for you. If this is boring, because I know some people, not everyone's going to be into this, right? I know it's super boring, but for some people, they're interested in it. This is like one of my passions, so I wanted to share it on the channel. But I'm explaining to you all that in the coming days and weeks, this channel is going to turn into a vlogging channel. It's going to be like a vlog. So it's not going to be like boring like this, right? Where I'm like sitting in front of you and I'm lecturing you, and nobody wants to be lectured. I mean, that's super boring. So I said to myself, and I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe I should turn the channel into a vlog, right? So I'm going to take you with me during my days, and I'm going to show you like what I do in my day-to-day life. How I run my business, how I am building my business, how I'm learning about myself, how I'm helping other people learn about themselves too. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be more of a fun way for you all to learn this stuff. So it's not boring, right? So the book, before I get into the lecture for today, the book is called Human Design. So if you don't have it, I will link it, or you can look for it on Amazon. I will link it in the description. It's on my old video. But I've been saying it for like months now. So if you have the book, then you are ready to learn. If you don't have the book, then you can just listen along if you're interested. Okay. So the topic for today is depression. Okay. Why do we have depression? Why do we experience depression? What is depression? Because I think a lot of people, and a lot of people don't talk about this. A lot of people don't talk about depression. A lot of people don't really understand it. And for me, with this book and with my knowledge background in astrology, I'm able to kind of piece things together and really explain to you why depression happens and what you could do about it. Okay. So why you have depression, or why do you feel down, or, what does that all mean? So before I get into the human design description, this is going to be about astrology. Okay. So astrology shows us that depression often comes from the waves. Okay. There's something called the waves and the transits. So the transits are different planetary bodies moving in the solar system, and they usually have an effect depending on where they are. Like, for example, the moon. When the moon is full, the tides of the ocean rise. So that is a form of a physical experience that we can have. Like we feel more active during the full moon, or, crazy things happen during the full moon. It's all because of the planetary bodies. So there is some sort of study, okay, and you can look up the study if you want, that the reason why we feel these depression and feeling down and having our ups and downs is often because we're going through different cycles in our life, and the cycles have a lot to do with the planetary bodies. So it's very similar to human design, okay, whereas with human design there's a certain frequency that goes through our bodies, right? Because if you don't know this, you'll know that humans are vessels. We're all vessels, okay? Whatever we put into our body, we create for ourselves. We carry with us. And the vessel has a lot to do with our soul. So, it's like when someone dies, their being, their soul within themselves ends up leaving the body. That's why the body, therefore, is a vessel. So the point of this solar plexus, and if you don't know what a solar plexus is, I will get into that in a moment. The solar plexus is a mechanism within us all. We all have a solar plexus, okay? This is the chakra system that I'm talking about today, okay? I'm not going to talk about the whole entire chakra system because it's going to be way too long, and I really want to hone in on certain points in the book that are important to humanity today in 2021. I don't want to be getting into things that the average person isn't experiencing. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit general. So with the solar plexus here, the solar plexus is located on the left side here. Okay, so if you open your graph, if you didn't get your own personal graph, you can get your personal graph. Just Google online human design chart. You have to type in your birth details, where you were born, all of that, and you will get your chart. And then you'll know if you are ruled by your solar plexus, okay? Majority, I would say 45% of humanity is ruled by the solar plexus. So what is the solar plexus and what does it mean? The solar plexus is actually, and I'm going to read what it says here. It says spirit consciousness. Spirit consciousness. Look at this. It says spirit consciousness, and then it says emotional and social awareness, passion and desire, abundance of spirit, feelings, moods, and sensitivity. So you see how powerful this one chakra is? This chakra within you has so much power. It has the power to make you be conscious of your emotions, your social awareness, your passions, your desires, all of this. Is that not related to a form of depression? Okay, so this is like the complete understanding of why we have certain feelings, why we have certain moods, why we have certain sensitivities is what this is saying. By the way, I'm on page 77, so if you want to follow along with me, you can follow along with me to understand more of what I'm talking about. So The solar plexus I find really interesting because one of the things that I learned, by the way, I'm an emotional projector. So if you don't know what an emotional projector is, you can look it up online. You can find out what you are. But a person who is emotional, and 45% of the population in the world is emotional. If you're an emotional person, you tend to go through a lot of ups and downs. Okay. You have a lot of ups and downs. And in the human design, I don't think they covered in this book. This was some independent research that I did outside of this book. It might be in this book, but I don't think so. Oh yeah, there it is. Exactly what I needed. So if you go on the next page following that, you're going to see the graphs here. It says the emotional waves. So all of us have emotional waves. What is an emotional wave? Well, there's three different types here. So why do we go through these waves? Why do we have days where everything's great? Everything's like, wow, this is like, do you ever have days like that where you're like, oh my God, this day is like, it's too perfect. It's too perfect. And then you have days where you're like, oh my God, can anything else go wrong? That is your wave. That is your solar plexus at play. So why do we have that? Why can't we just be normal? Why do we have to go through those ups and downs? Well, those ups and downs are actually a source of motivation. They're actually supposed to be a source of inspiration. Okay. So depression is not, you're not meant to look at depression from a negative perspective. A lot of people look at depression like, oh my God, he's depressed, or oh my God, she's depressed, like she needs meds, or like put them on meds. No, it's not about just putting someone on meds, because then you're suppressing that. And the solar plexus is actually, it's the new awareness. They call it the new awareness. What is a new awareness? Well, if you go back 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago, before the Industrial Revolution, you will see that our thinking as human beings has changed. From what? What did we used to be like? Well, for those of you who are aware, you're going to know. The consciousness that we had, let's say 200 years ago, does anybody know what kind of consciousness we had 200 or 400 years ago? The consciousness that we had 400 years ago is not the consciousness that we have today. Why is that? Well, there used to be, let's say 200 or 300 years ago, we had the fight or flight response. Today, we don't live in a world where we need to be on guard all the time. We don't need to be fight or flight kind of energy. The way in which our world works today, it's very, how do I put it? The world that we live in today is very structured. It's very structured. Everything has to be done a certain way. There's red tape, there's this, there's that. Back then, you didn't have to worry about red tape if you were in the jungle, catching your dinner for the night, right? You had to be on guard. You had to make sure that, some animal from the bushes wouldn't jump out and eat you. We don't have to do that anymore as human beings. So we're now shifting our consciousness. So shifting our consciousness means we're going from the spleen, and the spleen is the body consciousness. Okay. So we're moving from the body consciousness to the spirit consciousness, to the solar plexus. Okay. So there's two different types of consciousness that we're aware of. We're aware of the fight or flight response of, okay, I need to literally go out into the bush and I need to go and kill my dinner, to, oh, I'm just gonna walk into a supermarket and pay for my dinner. You see how the shift is happening, and nobody really explains this. Nobody really explains what this all means. So I'm going to explain it to you, what it all means to you. So the body consciousness, the spleen center, talks about the full existential living, spontaneity, health and well-being, values, immune system. You see why everything is happening the way it's happening in the world today, because we're no longer in this spleen energy. A lot of people have forgot how to keep their immune systems up, how to be in the moment, how to live in the moment. A lot of people are always fearing the future. This is where anxiety comes from. This is where depression comes from, because we're not able to really sit in our emotions. So going back to the solar plexus, which is what I want to focus on, I'll do another video on the spleen, but right now we're going to focus on this. So really what you need to understand is that depression is not something that you are cursed with. It's actually something that you are born with, that you develop over time because you go through ups and downs. So the ups and downs will vary depending on what type you are, depending on all of that. So you need to study your chart. You know, you have to go in and you have to study this. Somebody cannot hold your hand to do it. Like, you have to really want to learn about yourself. If you're not willing to learn about yourself, if you're not willing to make the effort, then nobody's going to teach you. You know what I mean? Especially if you're somebody who's going through depression and you're wondering, like, why am I depressed? This is probably the information that you need to get yourself out of that. Because a lot of people, they have options. You know, you don't always have to be put on antidepressants or certain medications. Some people do. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, based on the information that I know through this, it's completely up to you. All right. So the frequency of the emotional waves, I highly recommend you study this page, which is 73. And it talks about the need. So you have need, you have passion, and you have desire. So tribal, individual, and collective. So these are frequencies. And the other thing too that they haven't really talked about, which I'm predicting that in the future, they're going to start studying Wi-Fi waves, because Wi-Fi waves actually have some sort of effect on you, but they don't talk about it. They don't have enough data or details to explain to you what that impact has on your emotions, the Wi-Fi, the signals, you know. So these are going to be really important for you to look at when it comes to your emotions and why you have these ups and downs and why you have depression and why, you know. And another thing too, I want to mention, this information, like if you do have depression or you do have some sort of anxiety, you're actually supposed to transmute that energy. And that's something that they don't talk to you about or teach you, because they don't want you to be in your power. They don't want you to know how to do that, right? So how do you transmute your emotions? How do you do that, right? So basically the way you do that is you tap into your feelings. You tap into that low place. Like, why are you there, right? Some of the greatest musicians in the world, some of the greatest artists are able to produce some of their best works and pieces because they're able to step into this emotional wave. The emotional wave is real. Okay, so this is what it is. And the emotional wave is not something that people talk about because they don't understand it. So for those of you who are like very drawn to this subject, like, and you feel that this could be something that you could do to help people, then I really highly suggest, if you're a psychologist, if you're a doctor, if you are a coach, like anything like that, it's going to be super important for you to learn this, because when you finally sit down with your clients, you're going to want to study your client. You're going to want to understand every single thing about that person in order to make a judgment. Because that's the problem today. A lot of doctors, they only judge based on one perspective. They don't judge based on multiple perspectives. And I feel like this information could really help, especially people who are entrepreneurs, people who want to start their own businesses, all of that stuff. Even if you don't want to start your own business, it's good to know yourself so you don't fall into that trap, right? Of feeling like, oh, I have to take pills, or I have to do this, or I have to do that in order to be the best version of myself. Okay, so this is what I want you to focus on for this week. Okay, I'm going to try to come on every day to do more of this. But like I said, I want to do videos where I want you to come with me. Like, we'll go out together. I'll show you what I do in like my day-to-day life, and yeah, and like all of that. I want to take you all with me. I don't want this to be like some boring channel where I get up here like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I start barking at you about this information, because it really is a lot. And I know not everyone's drawn to this. I'm not expecting the whole of YouTube to want to be on this, because it's only for a select few people. It's only for the introverts like me, the nerds. Anyways, so I don't want to stay on here too long. This is just a what's the word I'm looking for? This is just a bullet point. I hope I'm not screaming. I hope everyone can hear me well. So yeah, this is just a starting point for you. And if you have depression and you're like, oh my God, I really want to find a way to solve this, please study this chapter. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to stay on long because I have a lot of stuff I have to do today. And I don't want to keep everybody up for too long, but I'm going to be here for another 30 seconds. So if you have any questions, and you're probably going to want to ask your questions now, because after this live, I'm probably not going to go live for like a very long time, because I'm going to be uploading videos instead of doing lives. So does anyone have any questions for me on this subject? Is there anything I said that you don't understand, that you are like, what the hell were you talking about? I don't know what you were even saying. Or is there anything I can clarify for you before I vamoosh out the door? Anybody? No questions? Really? None? Was that a lot of information? Some of you got too much information from that. And also, if you're watching this after the live, you can always leave me a question in the comment section, and I'll try to answer it as well too. Can you all? I just want to know. Can you all hear me? Because there's 17 of you in here. Can you all hear me? I want to make sure you can all hear me, right? Okay, I'm assuming you can all hear me. So Brian says, what is the book? Yes, it's Human Design. Okay, so you're gonna want to get this, The Science of Differentiation. I will put the link. Actually, I'll do that right now while we're on here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna get the link for everyone because I want you to have this book. Now, the whole channel is not going to be about human design. It's going to be about astrology. It's going to be about a whole bunch of different things. But I wanted to come on because I don't want to leave you all hanging and think that I'm not, like, I'm dead on this channel, because I'm not. Give me 1 second. I am just going to pull up the book. Geez, was I talking too much? I hope I wasn't overdoing it. Sometimes I talk, sorry. Boy. Okay, so I love this stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to share it with everybody on my channel. Okay. So here's the link, everyone. Please get the book. Okay. Listen, this isn't just for me to get commission from Amazon. Yeah, I'm getting like maybe 2 cents when you buy the book, but it's for you to invest in yourself. By the way, I want to explain to you what this channel is all about. This channel is all about leveling up and becoming the best version of yourself. And, you know, if you want to start a business in 2021, you're going to want to follow this channel as well too. Cause you know, I'm a capitalist, but I'm also a socialist. I'm all in one. Anyways, let's not talk about politics, right? Cause you know, I got in trouble last time for talking about politics. So shh, Monica, silence about the politics, please. Okay. Human HD book. Okay. So here's the HD book. Get it. Make sure you get it. And yeah. And when you get it, it's going to be a really good investment for you because you could use this book to learn about others. If you're someone like me and you love to learn about other people and you just like to be nosy, because I'm very nosy and I like to learn about myself and other people just so I can be ahead of the game. I always like to be 20 steps ahead of everybody else. So if that's the type of person you are, then you're probably going to want to follow me. I'm going to also be creating a second Instagram account as well too, which is going to be mainly focused on this. I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff on this channel, by the way. I'm going to explain to you a couple of things that I want to do on the channel. I'm going to be doing some clothing hauls. Like I want to show you some of the clothes like I like to wear. I'm going to show you like how astrology. I'm going to show you like how I started my business, like all of that stuff. Also, I'm going to be coming out with a face regime because some of you asked me like, oh, what do you put on your face? Like your skin is so nice. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you some stuff like about my elixirs. I do elixirs as well too. I do home elixirs like in my house. So Like I do a lot of juicing. I'm going to be doing some workout stuff as well too. I'm going to be doing some meditation outside in my yard. So like this channel is not going to be super boring with me like sitting here and lecturing you. So don't think it's going to be like that. It's just I'm getting my gear. Like I just literally I live in Canada and everything's freaking closed all the time. It's not like the States. It's not hustling and bustling here. People are kind of lazy in Canada. I didn't say that, but yeah, I just want to do a whole bunch of stuff because honestly, I feel like I've been a hermit for like a year because I was behind the camera doing like tarot. I was like shuffling cards for a year behind the camera. And I was like, people want to see me. People want to see my beautiful face. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more stuff like with you, all of you. And I'm going to share everything, like literally everything about my life. And you're going to freaking love it. And we're going to be like friends since I'm a loner and I don't have friends. Thank you, Liz. Liz just ordered her book. See? Get on it. That's good. Good. So you got the book. So you're going to be ready next time. Like we're talking about this stuff. Like if I'm in my car and I'm driving and like you guys are there and I'm filming, I'm going to be talking. So make sure I'll be like, oh, turn to X, Y, and Z page or whatever. And you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. So let me just read some of the comments. Okay. Yeah. So you all got the link. Okay, so Brian says, yes, I need to level up, trying to kick off the negative energy I have been feeling for the last 3 days. Good. Yeah, this is what this channel is all about, right? So like, for me, I've been able to overcome depression. Trust me, I used to be depressed all the time. I dropped out of university. Like, trust me, you don't know my story, but I will share my story with you over time and we'll do it together. You know, this channel is meant to, we're all going to level up together. We're all going to do that because that's what 2021 is all about, right? So yeah, and this is a good place to start because this information is like something that you can reference. You know what I mean? Like you could go in the book and be like, oh, I don't understand this about myself. Like, why am I going through this? And you read it and you're like, wow. And you get so much insight and it helps propel you forward. I don't know if I ever told you my story about this, everyone, but I was depressed when I discovered this. When I discovered this book in 2016, I was so friggin' depressed. And I remember the night that I found out about this information. It was on Facebook, not to promote Facebook or anything, but actually I found the information there. I saw the biggest, blackest spider. And I was like, this is a sign. Like the spider was literally this big. And I live in Canada. We don't have big insects. Okay. And if they show up, it's like, whoa, you know, that's like a symbol, right? The spider was this big. It was huge. And then I found this information and then I figured out my whole entire life in like an hour. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this all makes sense. Now I know why I went through all of this. And it's like, now that I know the information, I just feel so much more empowered. So I just want to see you all do that. You know, I want you all to do that and then help other people. And then it's going to be like a domino effect and it's going to help everyone. So yeah, that's the whole point of this channel is to be the best version of yourself, learn about others, learn about why you go through what you go through, and then be the best version of yourself. That's it. It's that simple, right? So yeah, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. If you're a teacher or you are a coach or whatever, you're going to want to watch this as well too. Okay. So sorry, I keep talking so much. I'm so excited for this channel and this series. I need to hydrate myself. Okay. So any other, oh, Sky Beauty says my book comes today. Yes, girl, get it. Get that book. All right. I love how you all are just so proactive and you're so into this. And honestly, like I feel like this is a new, fresh start. And you know what? You know what's really interesting, which is going to be so cool for us? We're going to have the solar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is so amazing because you know what the solar eclipse in Sagittarius means? It means knowledge. It means you are finally, like, this is the time of awakening. Like, you know how a lot of the astrologers on YouTube and a lot of the YouTube, let me just fix my camera. A lot of the astrologers and YouTubers and all those people that talk about the spiritual stuff, they're talking about awakening. Did you know December is like it's like the best month for awakening? There's going to be so many people going through awakenings. It's going to be insane. You're going to see it. And I'm so glad that you can be a part of this. And that's what this is about. This is about the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So if you are Sagittarius or you have Sagittarius in your chart, then you may have been drawn to this as well too, right? All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to stop talking because I'm like talking way too much. And I look forward to doing the vlogs for you all. Like I said, I'm still getting my my equipment, my camera, my mount, all of that, so I can take you with me, because this camera that I have, it's too big. It's like too much, and it's gonna look too bulky. And I want to keep it nice and fresh when I go out. I want to keep it nice, all put together. So yeah, so when I have that, I'll take you with me, and I will show you my beautiful home in Canada and how I'm living and all of that. I never share this with anybody, but I'll share it with you. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Any other questions? Aquarius Diva says, thank you for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us. I purchased my Soul Tribe book for Christmas gift. Thank you. Oh, that's great. I am so happy for all of you. And I'm so happy you can come on this journey with me. And I'm just really looking forward to what the future has. And I want to see. And you know what? It's funny you say that, Aquarius Diva, because you are an Aquarius. This is going to be age of Aquarius. So yeah. Okay. So I love you all. I'm sending you lots of love and light. For homework, I highly recommend that you check out page 77 and 73 and start studying the waves and figure out if you can get really deep into this stuff and find out, like, if you are an emotional being like me. I am an emotional person. That's why I understand depression, because I went through depression. They even tried to put me on depression meds, and I was like, nope, sorry. But I learned about myself. If you're able to find out if you're emotional, okay, this is your homework. Are you ruled by your solar plexus, or are you splenic? Are you spleen, or are you a solar plexus? Are you an emotional being? And if you are, what wave are you on? Because you could be on tribal, collective, or individual. You got to figure out what your wave is. And when you understand what your wave is, the depression is not going to get to you anymore, because you're going to be like, oh, I'm on my wave today, baby. Like, I have days where I'm like, woo, I'm feeling good. And then I have days where I'm like, ugh, leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have days like that. Do you all not have days like that? Like, everybody has days like that. But the way it works is really complex. So you have to understand yourself first before you can understand other people. Like, if I got your chart, I would be able to understand you in a minute. You have to become like that type of expert if you want to survive in the new world. In the new world that is going to be introduced to us, 2021. This is our new world now. So it's you don't have any excuses now. You cannot sit there and say, well, I didn't know, or the information wasn't available to me. Yeah, it's available to you right here. But are you going to take the steps? Are you going to take the actions? Because if you don't, well, it's not my fault. I provide you the information. I provide you the key. Now you have to use the information. Okay. So yeah, that's your homework for today, for tonight. Whenever you get your book, I want you to turn to page 77. I want you to study the solar plexus, and I want you to study 78. Okay. The emotional waves, which is very much associated with depression and anxiety in our world today, which was not there maybe 400 or 200 or 300, even 100 years ago. Okay. Question by Aquarius Diva is, best places to get our charts done. Do you do them? I do charts, but unfortunately I don't have the time right now, because I'm like so busy with my businesses and my tarot channel, and then I have this channel, and then I'm so new, like I just don't have time for that. But eventually down the road, I can provide that service. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to, because I'm going to be honest with you, people react very differently when you do their charts. Some people are in denial about themselves. Okay. Not everybody is going to admit what they have to work on. And I can look at a person in 1 second and look at their chart and say, this is what you need to work on. This, and this. And you could be like, no, I don't. Nothing wrong with me. And then there's people that are like, oh yeah, you're right. I do need to do that. And that's what takes you to the next level. But not majority of people, they don't want to do that because they're not ready for that. They want to be in denial. A lot of people want to be in a place where they're comfortable all the time. And that's not the type of person I am. And you're going to learn that when you're on my channel. You're going to see what kind of person I am. I'm harsh. I'm a harsh motherfucker. I'm harsh. Is there a bleep? Can we put some bleeps in here? Like, I'm harsh with myself. And I'm only like that because I'm ready to move to the next level. Not everybody is ready for that. That's why there's only 21 people in here. There's only 21 people on this channel and there's over 2,000 subscribers. Okay. So not everybody cares to level themselves up. Everybody talks about it. Everybody's like, let's level up, but they don't do it. Leveling up doesn't mean just putting on a bunch of makeup and clothes. It's also about the mental. And most people are not ready for that. So I can't do personal anything because you have to be able to do that for yourself. You need to go out and you need to make the effort to do that for yourself. And if that means you have to learn and study for 2 or 3 years until you understand yourself, then that's what you need to do. Try not to look for a shortcut. That's my best free advice, my 2 little cents that I can give you. Try not to look for shortcuts because that's the problem with today's society. We're so quick to do the shortcuts and then we're like, well, why isn't it working? Because you didn't see all the work that needed to be put into it in the first place. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and have a YouTube channel. I had to put in the motherfucking work. Excuse my language. Like, I'm sorry if I swore, but like, I had to put in the work, man. Like, I couldn't just expect someone to do it for me. And that's the thing, right? Like, even a lot of people now today, people are not going to be always running to tarot readers all the time. They're going to eventually start doing tarot for themselves because that's another reason why I'm doing this channel. This channel has a lot to do with self-autonomy, and autonomy means being self-governing. We don't really need other people to govern us. We need to be able to govern ourselves. And the more people do that every single day, the more they're going to be the best versions of themselves. So to answer your question, eventually I will do them for the right people, but you have to be ready for that. Like, no matter what I say to you, if I say something to you and you get offended, then you're not ready. That's it. You're not ready. So yeah. So the way it's going to go is you're going to learn on this channel over time. You have to be you can't just come here for one video and then irks me and be like, hey, Monica's X'd. No, you got to marry me on this channel. You're now married to you're married to me until you learn about yourself, until you learn to get to here. Instead of being here, you're going to learn to be here. Right. So yeah, you have to be married to the level up. You can't just be like, I'm going to show up, once in a while. I'm going to just show up when I want to. No, you got to be here. You got to show up every day. And if that means following this channel for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, then that's what you need to do. Eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the school and I'm going to link the school below. And you're going to, if you want to be in the school, I'm not just accepting anybody. So if you want to be in the school, you have to make sure you pass to get in there. Not everybody is going to be available to go in there because some of you are not ready. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have to say it, but it's the truth, so you got to be ready for that. I can show you to do anything in your life. I can show you how to get anything, do anything if you want it. But if you don't want it, can't help you. That means being committed to me. That means marrying me on this channel. That means marrying yourself. That means focusing, all of that. That means buying the book, spending the $100 or how, I don't know where you are in the world, but where I'm at, it's $100 if you want this book. Maybe in the States, it's $50. I heard in the UK, it's like $10. So I don't know where you're at, but invest in yourself. That's my message to you. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to stop ranting and raving. I think those are all the questions for today, right? So so to answer the first part of your question, Aquarius Diva, to get your chart, I highly recommend you go to this website. Okay. So if you're watching this if you're not on the live, just click the live chat box and you're going to see, I'm going to type it in here. Go to this website. This is a trusted website. I've been using this for over 10 years, astro.com. Go there. You'll get your chart and you can start studying your chart that's for astrology. Okay. Now, if you want human design, you just Google one of the sites I go to. They're free as well too. So, okay, just give me 1 second. Just type in free human design calculator. Mm. It's a lot of information, so you have to be ready to commit. If you're not ready to commit, then bye-bye, okay? This is where we're at now, folks. So there you go. You get your human design chart there, and you get your astrology chart from the first one. Okay, yes, calf astrology is, you can go there. I don't go there personally. I don't use calf astrology. It's just not my preference. I like to use astro.com because astro.com, it has a whole bunch of information, and there's forums as well too. And I don't know. I just, this is the one I use. I never use astro or calf, never. So I can't recommend that, but it's completely up to you. You could try all of them and see which one works for you. And then the Jovian archives is for the human design. So if you want to know, and I highly recommend too, you need to get your human design chart, because if you don't know your human design chart, all this information is kind of a waste. You know, you're just learning it and you're not putting it towards anything. That's another thing too. Like, you know, with information, you can know information, but not apply it. And I'm going to teach you as well on this channel how to apply knowledge as well. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like button. If you like this video and you want more videos like this, please share this video with someone you feel needs to hear this, because there is a lot of people in depression right now. There's a lot of people that are suicidal. There's a lot of mental health issues. This is supposed to be the platform to help you get out of that place and to empower yourself. Okay. This is the point of this, for you to be the best version of yourself. So please help someone in need. Okay. I will see you on the next one. Sending you lots of love and light. Monica Louvre here on the Occult channel, The Blackout. And I will see you very soon. Peace.